Thank you.
Anthony, you're watching at home. Anthony/Bill, as we know him, you're watching the clock. We're going a little over time, but we are going to get the choir and the police officers and our saxophonist on, but I have a few more questions for Jack Markell. And I know you have a special date with your son tonight, so I won't keep you because you've got a movie date. But I have two more questions. I'm going to give you the first one kind of combined. You brought up the economy and jobs. People struggling. I have two types of viewers that have called in and talked to me. One wants to know about what about people who cannot find jobs? What will you do about that? But the other one are, in particular, there are husbands and wives, both of which are holding down two jobs and also have children. Can you address that a little bit? How are you going to try to handle things as a governor with that?
Well, look, I mean, people are very squeezed. People are squeezed by higher health care prices, by energy prices, now by food prices, by tuition prices. And I think this is an area where, frankly, you know, the government has got to create a better economic climate. A report came out recently said that Delaware is one of only 3 states in the country where the economy actually got smaller last year. We're 48th of the 50 states when it comes to creating new businesses. That's just not acceptable, which is why so much of my focus is, in fact, on creating more good, high-wage jobs. This is my background. Before I got into government, I was in the business world. I was very fortunate. I was the 13th employee at Nextel and was there from the company grew from 13 to 3,000 while I was there. So I know what it takes to create jobs, and I will be relentlessly focused on this as governor. There are so many issues. It's about skills training, and that's a big part of it. If people, you know, this is a changing economy, it's a changing, you know, globalization and all that. People need to have the right skills, which is why it's so important to make sure that Delaware Technical and Community College continues to be strong. And, you know, right now it's almost out of space. Yeah. We got to make sure that they're able to train all these people who are investing in their own future. So it's about education, it's about skills training, it's about really working hard to make sure that the companies that are here get to grow. I've laid out a very detailed set of proposals on economic development, which I'm proud of, because I think that when people say to me, you know, why are you running? What are your biggest issues? There are really two that go hand in hand. They're education and they're job creation. We have to have great schools, because if we don't have great schools, we're not going to create the great jobs. And I think these two things go very much hand in hand. There are lots of other important issues. Healthcare is a big one for sure. The environment, lots of them. If we have great schools and we focus on really creating good jobs, then we'll have the resources to pay for so many other things.
Jack, you're impressing me. I'm sure you're impressing a lot of viewers out there. But, you know, when you read people and what they're saying, it sounds really good. I'd like you to leave our viewers, unless I'm going to turn it over to Michael before I'm done, but unless he has another question. What I'd like to know is, sometimes I'm like, well, what's the difference then between this person says, I mean, nobody runs and says, I'm going to run the state to the ground. Everybody says, I'm going to make it great. So can you leave our viewers with what you feel are the major differences between you and John Carney, why you feel that we should vote for you rather than John Carney, or the, I'm sorry, I've forgotten the names, the other two people running.
Well, I'll let the other two talk about themselves.
Protac, Lee and Protac.
Look, I mean, first of all, I like John and I respect him. For me, I really believe that Delaware has to move in a new direction. I've got the background. Again, this is a pivotal moment when you think about the challenges in Delaware's economy, the changing job market, and how people are squeezed. I really think this is a very important moment for us to focus in a whole new way on the economy, and I've got that kind of background. In the end, I think the question does come down to this. Do we want the state to continue on the path it's been on for the last 8 years, or are we ready to turn the page and move in a new direction? I feel strongly that the state must move in a new direction. That's where I'm going to take it as governor.
Thanks for coming out. And did you have another question, Michael?
Well, I just wanted to say, I keyed in when you talked about real life situations. I'm not as much concerned with statistics as I am with actual impact on people. That's my thing. I'm not in politics. I'm about living. You know, I have to live here. And if you are going to give things that are going to impact my life, my family's life, my friends' lives, you know, and give opportunities to build businesses and to prosper, I'm all for it. But we're going to watch you closely.
Thank you. That's all I can ask, is people consider me.
Okay.
And thank you for coming on the program again.
Thank you.
And we just love having you on and look forward to seeing you on other programs and
Right.
seeing what you do in the polls. I know you have you've got something to do with your family, and it's good to see that you're balancing that, because without that balance for family, you couldn't take care of our families.
Right.
Got a wonderful family. I'm very lucky.
You want to tell us their names real fast?
Well, my wife, Carlo, she and I grew up together since the age of 5 years old. And my daughter, Molly, who's home, and my son, Michael, who's here, and we're about to go see Batman.
I wanted to get that in because, he's a family man, too, and that makes me feel closer to him, and I think our viewers. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone else, please stay tuned. I'm not sure what you're going to see until our next guest is on, and I'm not even sure which of our many guests is going to be on. It's a surprise, and I'm going to wrap it up. Stay tuned.